Jade Cargill has taken the pro wrestling world by storm. Her striking appearance and strength are what set her apart, but what else do we know about her? We did some research and found some very interesting things about her. Let's start with Number 10. She had received a WWE offer. Jade Cargill is definitely someone that fits the description of what WWE looks for, and sure enough, they were interested in signing her. But why did she choose to go with All Elite Wrestling instead of WWE? She revealed that All Elite made her feel like more than just a number, compared to WWE's cookie-cutter system. During her Talk Is Jericho appearance, she stated the following, and I quote, "All Elite came about. I came here, got the experience, and I felt calm. You and I had this conversation in the car and it made me feel at ease about the decision I wanted to make. I didn't have to relocate. I felt at home. I could call the owner of our company and talk to him. He knew my name and purpose and he knew that I wanted to do this. That mattered a lot to me. I wasn't just a number, he knew exactly who I was and that made me feel comfortable. The other company was so pissed off that they sent me a 100-page contract, but I made the best decision for my family and for myself. Look at me, I don't think I would be anywhere close. I know I made the best decision, and you made me make the best decision." Unquote. Well, it's definitely a possibility that WWE wouldn't have used her properly. Anyway, she continued by saying, "WWE has a cookie-cutter system, that's what I didn't want. I didn't want to be a number. I've always been a believer and I've always been an underdog. I love being the underdog and we're hungry. I want to be part of something that is hungry and wants to change things, and that's why I came here. The locker room and everything made me feel at ease. I didn't feel like it was a bullying system, or an athlete versus wrestling type of system. It felt natural and easy." Number 9. Her inspirations from the pro wrestling world and more. Just like many other pro wrestlers, Jade was watching wrestling since she was a child. It comes as no surprise that her favorite was China. But she doesn't only draw inspiration from pro wrestling stars. Remember how I said that she took pro wrestling by storm? This choice of words wasn't random, as she has mentioned that Storm from X-Men was another inspiration of hers, and she even made a Storm-themed appearance on TV. Number 8. Her other talent and education. Jade is quite tall, and we'll talk about it again soon, and she used to excel at basketball. She played basketball in school and she was actually a part of 2 district-winning basketball teams, at Sebastian River High School, as well as at Vero Beach High School. Jade also continued playing basketball in college, where she received her bachelor's degree in social science. She continued with her education and she got a master's in child psychology. Number 7. Her personal life and relationship status. Jade is a very private person and keeps her life away from the public eye. All we know for sure is that she has a daughter named Bailey Quinn. Her partner is former MLB player Brandon Phillips. He played for various teams, including Cleveland Indians, Cincinnati Reds, Atlanta Braves, Los Angeles Angels, and Boston Red Sox. As I said, their life is quite private, but there are some photos of the couple, such as this one celebrating a championship. Number 6. Some general information about Jade. We mentioned earlier that Cargill is quite tall, but how tall exactly? Well, she's 5 feet 10 inches, or 178 centimeters, and unlike other heights that are inflated or just wrong, this one is her build height from her time in basketball too, so it must be pretty accurate. The current TBS Women's Champion was born on June 3, 1992, which means she's 30 years old. She's from Vero Beach, Florida. Jade was trained by several people including Heath Slater, now known as Heath Miller, Brian Danielson and QT Marshall. Another fact is that she's of Jamaican descent. Number 5. What does she think of Tony Khan? As we mentioned earlier, a big reason why Jade chose All Elite Wrestling over WWE was the environment and people. She has spoken very highly of many people in All Elite Wrestling, including the owner, and I quote, "Tony is a phenomenal leader. He knows his company inside and out. He's a positive light in wrestling and willing to listen and absorb your vision and work with you. I'm thankful to have Tony, who believes in everything I'm doing. It's not just someone who believes in you though. You have to put in the work. I do 2-a-days, 4 days a week. I don't just put the work in at the gym, but in the ring as well. I'm new and he knew that. I've probably had 4 matches in the last 5 or 6 months. That is not a lot at all, but I'm in the gym when waiting to be called. I'm growing." Unquote. Betting on an upcoming wrestler is definitely a risk, but you have to be willing to do this in order to create a new star. That's how we got people like Hook and Jade. They were thrown straight in deep waters and learned how to swim. What's your take on this one? Comment below and let's jump into Number 4. Why did she take a break from Twitter? I don't know if you're a fan of Twitter or not, but many people think that it's the most toxic social media app, and Jade is one of them. Some people said that she couldn't handle criticism, but that's actually not true, as Jade has admitted that she loves back and forth trash talk. The reason she took a break was that she was spending too much time on her phone. During a training session, the topic of social media use came up, and Bryan Danielson suggested that she should delete at least one app, the most toxic one, and she chose Twitter. And if you ask me, good for her. We all need some time off social media from time to time. Speaking of Twitter, some fans suggested that Jade should join WWE. She admitted that there's a glitz and glamour factor there, and she loves that, but she made a decision and she's sticking with it. She continued by saying that she would never have that kind of debut in WWE. In case you don't remember, she debuted alongside Shaquille O'Neal, so yeah, totally agree with her. That's pretty much a dream debut match, and there's close to zero chance that WWE would have done something similar. Number 3. The video that went viral. As I was doing my research on Jade, I filtered the results by most viewed. Surprisingly, the video that was first wasn't all Elite related. It was a video of Jade's visit to Dr. Bo Hightower, who's a famous chiropractor and has treated many professional wrestlers over the last few years. The video with Jade has 2.6 million views and counting. Number 2. The man who mentored her. Believability is definitely an important factor in pro wrestling. The whole point is to momentarily suspend our disbelief, and enjoy it as if it was a real fight happening in front of our eyes. Mark Henry is definitely someone that comes to mind when it comes to believability. He really was the world's strongest man at one point, and if you couple this with his amazing theme song, you really thought that somebody's gonna get it. Jade is also someone who's very believable, just like her mentor Mark. Henry was the one that helped her get a WWE tryout. He stated that WWE didn't want to give up a lot of creative control, and that's why things didn't work out. Anyway, as you know, Mark ended up working in All Elite Wrestling. Jade turned out to be great, and I think we should call him the world's strongest scout from now on. Number 1. Her being the Elite appearances. We usually end these types of videos with some funny BTE moments, but not this time. Some people do not appear as often, and in some cases this is great for their character. People like Sting, Darby Allin, Jon Moxley and Jade need to maintain their serious, kinda hate people vibe, so they're better off not overexposing themselves to the lights of the camera. She has appeared only twice if I recall correctly, saying very few words.
Is there a problem? I thought so.